Hi guys, and welcome back to the 2016 election between Jeb Bush and Donald Trump.
Please clap.
Now, the 2016 election of course was between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, but this is an alternative history where Donald Trump is the Democratic candidate and Jeb Bush is the Republican. Of course, Donald Trump running as a Democrat is highly unlikely because of his big disagreements and dislike for Barack Obama, and Jeb Bush being the Republican is somewhat likely, though with Donald Trump in the race, it was never going to happen. So certainly a lot of things are going to be very different in this timeline. So I'm going to start with filling in the safe states for the Democrat Trump. Of course, he's going to carry the West Coast, he's going to carry Hawaii, and of course his home state of New York and most of the East Coast. He's also going to carry all of Maine, because it was his blue-collar appeal that gave him that second district. It was not the Republican Party platform, and it would be quite similar as the Democrat. Yes, certainly a state like New Jersey, which is very suburban. You know what, I'm actually going to wait with filling in New Jersey because that one could change. Now, safe states for Bush. He is definitely going to carry Texas, he's going to carry Alaska, Oklahoma, Kansas is a very solid state for Bush. He's going to carry all of Nebraska. I'm going to wait with the Dakotas for now, but he's going to carry Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, Montana. He's going to carry Arizona quite comfortably because that was a state that rejected the Trumpism. And he's going to carry the states of Indiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and yeah, it's quite difficult to say where we go from here because with Trump as the Democrat, Trump running on a pro-better trade deal platform, on the blue-collar platform that would really help him up north in the Rust Belt, that would put the map in a very different state. And certainly Trump would do better in the Rust Belt, but not well enough to flip Indiana. I would say he would keep Illinois, he would definitely keep Minnesota, and he would probably do quite well in states like Michigan and Wisconsin, but we'll get to them. Jeb Bush, because he is a establishment guy who will do much better in the suburbs than the Republican Trump, especially when he's running against the Democrat Trump. Jeb Bush is going to have a few advantages. He's going to carry Georgia quite comfortably, and he's also going to carry South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. Of course, these are all states that his father carried in 1992, except from Georgia, and it goes on. Donald Trump certainly did a lot of good efforts to win coal miners, but in the state of Kentucky it will simply not be enough. Going to Tennessee, Trump is also going to come closer, but it's not going to be enough. Now, West Virginia is different. West Virginia, they care a lot about issues there, not that much about things like party, because they re-elected Joe Manchin. They have had Democratic senators for a long time, and they elected a Democratic governor that changed and became a Republican. Trump, with his coal platform, is going to win the state of West Virginia. Of course, in this hypothetical way, just assume that Trump keeps his sort of pro-coal, pro-steel, pro-American industry and trade deals agenda when running as a Democrat. And that is actually going to help him easily win Michigan. Michigan is a state that will definitely favor Trump a lot. He would also win Iowa and Wisconsin. Going to North Dakota and South Dakota, Trump won them big time. But in the end, his need to appoint liberal justices if elected president, because he is with the Democratic Party, that would give those states to Jeb Bush. Of course, they also liked his brother, so what would you expect? Jeb Bush would also carry Colorado quite comfortably. He would carry Florida. Sorry, Trump. But Jeb Bush was the governor of Florida. He might have lost the primary, but he would do better among the Cuban community because, he has a Cuban wife, he has a lot of history there. And he would, in the end, also do quite well in the suburbs, which, as mentioned, will be Trump's weakness in this election. Going to the once bellwether of Missouri. Missouri has really lost its bellwether status in our reality. But in this example, actually, I think it will go to Trump, because it is a state that cares a lot for border protection. They care about jobs, industry. Jeb Bush is not really strong on those issues, so that would work against him in that state. However, Jeb Bush would do better another place, and that is the state of New Hampshire, where Trump would also be quite bad among suburban women. Going to the deep south, the inner south, if you would call it that, Louisiana and Arkansas would still go to Bush. And that has more to do with its new Republican DNA and big rejection of Obama and the Democrats during the last 8 years. Not that they dislike Trump or really like Bush, it's just the changing demographics there. Bush would carry New Mexico. He has a lot of Latino appeal, and in the end, even though Trump has a casino in Las Vegas, he would carry Nevada. And as you see, it's getting closer. Trump is at a small disadvantage, but he would carry the state of Pennsylvania. Why would he carry Pennsylvania? He would keep the Philly area, not do well in the suburb, but he would keep enough of the western parts of the state to give that to the Democrats. If you look at Obama and in the races versus Romney, for example, Romney did okay in the suburbs like Jeb Bush would, but he did not win it, mostly because of the western parts of the state. And in the end, the swing state of Ohio, I do believe that it is going to be the deciding factor, because I believe Jeb Bush is going to carry New Jersey. I know, it is northeast, and New Jersey being such a suburban state is going to really be an advantage for Bush. But in the end, the state of Ohio is going to go to Trump. So, while that does not put Trump over 270 votes, it makes it a very close election. Trump with his blue-collar appeal will win in the Ohio Valley. Bush will win in Cincinnati. Oops. And that's the result. So 271 for Jeb Bush, 267 for Donald Trump, and Jeb Bush is the President of the United States, and we have a lot more to expect in terms of foreign wars, in mass migration, and I'm sure that the Trump base would love to have a Bush presidency. Anyway, that's all for this video. Please leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.